Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to take this Dollar Tree coffin that I got at Halloween time and turn it into two Creepmas ornaments. And I'm going to place some skeletons in there and put some little ribbon to hang it from. So if you want to see how these turn out, then stick around. I used these skeletons also from the Dollar Tree. They come 4 on kind of a jute twine type. And I'm going to place this little scrap of a just kind of piece of, it's like a velour. You may have seen I used this to line the inside of a cigar box to make into a crystal holder. And so I just have this little piece left over that I'm going to cut out in the coffin shape and secure to the inside. I don't want this little skeleton guy to show through. I want it to be kind of a soft fabric look, like a real coffin. It would be laying on something nice and soft and comforting and fluffy. So I'm using the coffin itself just to trace an outline to cut, and I'm trying to be careful to not get this silver Sharpie on the outside of this coffin, because since this coffin is a purple and my tree's colors are black, gunmetal, silver, and purple, I'm going to leave this outside purple color. It goes just really well how it is, and it kind of has this faux wood look with a little bit of eyeballs and things peeking through. So I'm going to leave that and just line the inside. Now, if you are new to my channel or you have not yet subscribed, please go down just a little bit, hit that subscribe button. Helps the channel out a lot, and we'll make sure that you stay up to date on all of my crafting adventures. I just want to measure this up and make sure that I cut it in the right spot. And then I'm just going to clean up my cut a little bit, and we'll get it inside the coffin. Here I'm just using some Mod Podge, and I'm painting it just on the very bottom of the inside. I'm making sure not to get any of the sides with any glue on them. And so I put it on just the top part of that bottom, and then laid the fabric down, and then just fold the fabric because the Mod Podge dries really fast. And so I was afraid if I tried to do the whole entire thing, it would dry before I got the fabric laid down in there. So then I'm just going to take and press it down and make sure that it gets really nice and adhered. And I'm going to use this bone folder to get in and smooth it out. And then my fingers to make sure that there's no bubbles and that it is completely laid against that back. Now I'm going to take this, it's my little pokey tool from my jewelry kit. I don't know what it's called, but it's really sharp on one side, so I use it to poke holes and stuff. And I just tried to I just eyeballed it, the middle of the top of the coffin on that side portion. And so I'm just going to take some ribbon, some thin ribbon, and I'm going to use these little skull beads that I had from the candy cane video, the candy cane Creepmas ornament video. And so I'm just going to kind of put it at the top, and that's going to kind of help hold my ribbon in place. And here you'll see I totally tied off my knot before I took my needle back out. I was intending to push it back through my skull and make just a nice loop at the top instead of tying it, but unfortunately, since I tied the bottom, I just went ahead and made a little knot so that the skull bead would stay in place, and then I'll just snip with my scissors right next to the needle and then tie that off so it can still be a hanging kind of loop for that. After I get the ribbons on, I use E6000 to secure the skeleton to the fabric so that it will stay on there permanently. And E6000 takes a really long time to dry, but it does secure very, very well. So if you'll just hold it for a minute to get it stuck down, then you can leave it as long as it will lay there. So that's what I did. And this is how they turned out. So I have one that is in the actual coffin portion, and you can see that it kind of gives a more shadow effect, and the feet are inside. And then I have the other that is laid on the coffin lid, so the feet are sticking out and it doesn't have as much shadow. But I really like how they turned out. They are similar but unique amongst themselves, and they look great on my tree. Thanks for stopping by to check out this video. I hope you will come back again and see more of my creepy crafting adventures.